I'll hold on to those precious moments as I remember the wonderful man you were. You loved deeply, and you showed me what it meant to live fully. Your kindness, patience, and generosity touched so many lives, and I believe it's evident even today. As I say goodbye, I find comfort in knowing that your love continues to surround me. As I carry it with me, knowing that
we gather here today in profound sorrow to honor the life and legacy of a remarkable leader, educator, and friend. Mr. Nzioka, his untimely passing in a tragic road accident has left a void that is deeply felt across our educational community and beyond. As we reflect on his life, we celebrate not only the man he was, but also the indelible impact he made on the countless lives through his unwavering commitment to education. Mr. Nzioka was not just the national chairman KEPSHA. He was a visionary leader whose dedication to educational reforms transformed the landscape of primary education in Kenya. During my time as national chairman KEPSHA, I had the privilege of serving alongside him on various educational committees. It was during this moment that I witnessed firsthand his passion for empowering educators and fostering an environment where every child could strive. His leadership style was characterized by inclusivity and innovation. He understood that education is not merely impacting knowledge, it is about nurturing potential and creating opportunities for growth. Mr. Nzioka rallied primary school heads to embrace comprehensive school concept, advocating for a holistic approach to education that addressed the diverse needs of students. His vision extended beyond traditional teaching methods. He sought to create learning environments that were engaging, supportive, and conducive to the development of critical thinking. One of Mr. Nzioka's most significant contributions was his role in midwifing the implementation of competency-based curriculum. As we are aware, it is now in junior secondary, and he played a very big role. He recognized that our education system needed to evolve to meet the demands of rapidly changing world. Through his tireless advocacy, collaboration, and collaborating with stakeholders at all levels, he championed reforms that prioritized competence over rote memory. Mr. Nzioka's commitment to educational excellence extended beyond policy initiatives. It was evident in his interactions with students, as we've already seen from the president, teachers and parents alike. He believed in building strong relations, and we have seen from the partners that KEPSHA has had, he listened intensively, offered guidance generously, and inspired those around him to strive for greatness. As we remember him today, let us also acknowledge the profound legacy he leaves behind, a legacy rooted in compassion, integrity, and unwavering beliefs in transformative power of education. To his family, please know that you are not alone in your grief. The entire education community stands with you during this difficult time. We share your sorrow and honor Mr. Nzioka's memory by committing ourselves to continue his work in advancing education for every child. Let us carry forward Mr. Nzioka's spirit of embracing his values, dedication to serve, commitment to reform, and love our children's future. May we find strength in each other as we navigate this loss together. Rest in peace, my dear friend and leader. You will be missed, but you'll never be forgotten. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Death has robbed teachers of Kenya, a selfless visionary forthright, committed and distinguished transformative leader who would have led the teachers, managers to a better future. That is Nzioka. Most of us may not know, but Johnson Nzioka served as a member of the branch executive committee of Nairobi branch, representing heads at that time when the union was at its lowest. And I want to say again that Nzioka stood with us as a national chairman, KEPSHA, when this union was dying. The special recognition that Nzioka gave Kenya National Union of Teachers cannot be compared with any other. At the time that Kenya National Union of Teachers was dying, my brother Nzioka stood with us. He was for it, and severally, he was a visitor at Kenya National Union of Teachers head office. I want to say here that Johnson's voice in strengthening social justice always came handy, especially in the clamor for the education reforms, and you have it here. The fallen KEPSHA chair would unwaveringly speak on behalf of teachers and tell the need of teachers even when capitation was actually delaying. He knew too well, and I must say that capitation is actually in the right line to have quality basic education. It has been mentioned, but allow me also to mention here that in responding to the Kenya Kwanza Education Charter, Mr. Nzioka participated fully in the Presidential Working Party on education reforms, where he stood firm, especially on domiciling grade 7, 8, and 9 in primary schools to facilitate a smoother transition from primary to secondary. And when we are told that he was a champion of the CBC, indeed he was. Although this seemed to be a very difficult decision to make, we encouraged our brother Nzioka, given the age of the young learners, and our brother, without compromising his leadership role as the highest ranked administrator, made a decision, and the decision was widely bought by stakeholders, and that is why we have grade 7, 8, and 9 domiciled in primary schools. We must thank him as a union. Kenya National Union of Teachers shares in grief with the family of Ms. Nzioka. The NAT fraternity in Nairobi branch and teachers and learners of Donholm Comprehensive School, poleni sana, tuko pamoja na poleni. I must say here to the acting chairman, this gentleman was a pillar to this great union. And is the only chairman who worked very well with Kenya National Union of Teachers. I want to be very frank. I'm sure you'll also do so because you're learning on the job. We would wish you to learn very well on the job. I'm not looking down upon any other chairman, but I must say the best chairman of KEPSHA as we speak now is this man lying here today. The animosity between teachers and heads and the union was stopped by this gentleman. There was total harmony and we worked very well. My brother, PS, in this sector, and you know, if there is harmony at work, where partners work without friction, definitely the quality of education shall go beyond necessary heights. Teachers Service Commission chairman, this gentleman brought us very close to you as TSC. And that is why we now work with a lot of harmony. If it were not for Nzioka, TSC and Kenya National Union of Teachers were enemies. He brought us to work together with you. And I must thank him. May his soul rest in eternal peace and tranquility. Thank you so much. Chairman, Former Treasurer Nairobi retired Matthew.
A man whose heart radiated love and whose presence brought peace to all who knew him. He was not just my dad, he was my mentor, my motivator, and the guiding light that shaped.
To mourn a great man. A great man, you know, as teachers, being a teacher myself, and with the permission of the clergy, is that God gave us an opportunity as teachers to co-create humans. And it is our responsibility to make sure that that duty that was given to us is done well. I can affirm that our brother Nzioka did his part as a teacher. And today we say, Brother Nzioka, rest in eternal peace. On that fateful day, on the 16th, the vice chair, Faoud, called me in the evening and told me that our brother had passed on. And it was a real shock to hear that we have lost him. Because on Thursday before that, a few days before that, I was having a meeting with Nzioka because we had fixed a meeting on the 19th of this month where we were going to have all the chairs of KEPSHA from the counties in a meeting with the cabinet secretary. A week before that, we had met the chairs of our Kenya Secondary School Heads Association, and Nzioka had accepted to call all the heads for the primary school and the junior school on the 19th so that we could be able to engage on the transition from grade 9 to grade 10. So when we lost him, we lost an opportunity that would have been able to guide this country as we transition to grade 10. I want to most sincerely thank him, and again, for the work that he did for the Presidential Working Party in domiciling our junior school in our primary schools. But I would want to thank him even more because on the 5th of January, when everybody was worried about the transition from grade 8 to grade 9, I had an engagement with Nzioka on Sunday, 5th of January, and he gave me the assurance that, P.S., tomorrow our children will settle down well in grade 9. And today I want to say thank you very much, because for sure, there was very peaceful and very well-organized transition to grade 9. Our brother, thank you for the work that you did for all of us. Unfortunately, also, the head of public service had scheduled a meeting with Nzioka on the 14th because we were to meet on the 13th, on the 19th. We were to meet on the 19th with all the heads, and Nzioka and his team were to meet the head of public service on the 20th of this month because the head of public service was the guest of honor during their annual meeting in Mombasa, and thereafter they had agreed that they wanted to meet so that they can be able to share more and engage more with the Kenya Primary School Heads Association. From, I know Mheshimiwa Milemba talked about our examiners and the contracted professionals. I want to confirm that yesterday and part of today, we have paid all the obligations to our contracted professionals, our teachers, and everybody who participated in the examinations of the 2024. So once again, I want to make that announcement that
if Nzioka himself was alive and kicking, he would have said the following, and now that he passed on, let me say this. As a teacher and a member of parliament, I no longer work just for Kupet. I'm a gatekeeper together with many other members of parliament for all the teachers in Kenya. Nzioka would have been very excited to ask that NEC, you pay all the examiners, supervisors, invigilators. You know, I'm an advocate for teachers. You need me, you need my speech. You remember yesterday, that's the statement I did in parliament. And that needs to be paid because exams were done long time ago and the teachers have not been paid. And I'm happy the PS is here. Nzioka would have also said that we don't want teachers of Kenya to join the private hospitals in any way. And I've already talked to the chairman of the education committee because the medical cover for the teachers is wobbling, despite the fact these are the people who gave up their medical cover to have the now medical cover they are having. They gave up money from their pay slips, and TSC is here. And noting that they are the heaviest lifters of SHA, because they still pay 2.7%. You cannot afford to have such people not have a medical cover. Nzioka would have said that. And also, I'm sure Nzioka would have said that capitation to our schools, now that PSU are here, yes, this is my business. Nzioka is down, I must speak for him. That our schools need capitation and the PS is here. And therefore I don't need to belabor that let capitation go to schools so that the schools can run well. And finally, as the champion of teachers in parliament, you need somebody to speak for you where people sit. If nobody is on table, nobody will speak your issues. This year, together, ourselves and KNUT, I want us to be champion of only one thing, that there are teachers of primary schools, P1 teachers, who are left for the longest time they are not being employed. Some of them were last employed in 2010. This must be the clarion call this year, that we go and mop up those teachers. Collins, you get the data so that we put money in the budget making process is now there, and your watchman there, we employ those teachers and give hope to the teachers who have stayed too long without employment. And I will be talking to the president further and the people who are concerned that as we move forward, this is my last one, we shall end the casualization of the employment of teachers in Kenya, so that you cannot be employed in the morning in the house of a member of parliament like myself, or in the house of some government official. We shall leave employment to remain to Teacher Service Commission, so that hope, equity, and equality is achieved in employment. Thank you. I believe that's what Nzioka would have said. Thank you and God bless you.
Asante.